Okay.
Hey, everybody. Here's a little bonus coaching call from me and Fred on guerrilla marketing techniques that aren't email, social media, video, monster marketing, the face to face marketing. These are Fred and I's better ideas on just sort of guerrilla marketing techniques. Give me a guerrilla marketing technique, Fred.
Well, number one is to be consistent. Okay. That's number one. And have good to excellent content. That's number one. I don't care what marketing you're doing. That's number one. Uh, I also wrote a book, and I know you were uh, you had written a book, and you basically said, "Hey, I'll put your info on the cover." And there are companies that do that, by the way, that basically write everything in the book for you, and you put. I don't agree with that. I think if you're going to write a book, you should write your own book. But I know Lee wrote a book, and that you were doing
Several,
that for.
actually. We have several in the coaching archives where you can go and take these books and put your name on them. They've all been around the horn long enough, and they've all sold literally lots and lots of prints, and they've been in. Yeah,
So I
I
don't think that's a bad idea.
yeah, well, it makes a nice digital download, right? Like have even if you just take the basic book and go, "Hey, get my free book," you're not really saying you wrote it if you have some uncomfortable level of having a ghostwriter. Um, but I would agree with you. There is something to be said. Again, it goes to a psychological point of the law of reciprocity, right? Where you give something of value, people feel more inclined to do something in exchange when you give them something. And a book is what it's really, in essence, what that's based on, Fred.
And then another great book to always give out to your clients. And my people at my office would kill me when I would talk how to raise your credit score on the radio. They would literally kill me because we would get bombarded with calls, and they don't want to deal with how to help people raise their credit scores. They were looking for loans. So, how a little article, a little pamphlet, a little book, 20 pages long on how to raise your credit score 100 points in 3 to 6 months. That's a great marketing technique. I'm telling you, it will be the best one that you do. Besides, I think it's even better than my Hawaii condo offer.
Oof.
I really do. That's
Well,
it's
and
that
let me
good.
play it out for everybody. Your goal at the end of the day isn't to try to get a listing immediately, contrary to what people will tell you. And there is a very famous coach right now who is on a huge, huge, huge kick of talking about social media marketing, and how you can get listings automatically by first contact. Like, couldn't even believe what was being said on this overview, but that's what he's going to start teaching for the next month of, because people need
Yeah.
marketing, right? And so my point to that is the goal of the book or the pamphlet or anything is I want a name, I want a phone number, I want an email. That's it. With those three things, I can move forward, and continue to push the message. I mean, we've talked about it before. There's no secret to why I have a 62% open rate. I feed content, I feed a lot of content to that group, and therefore they expect it. And then they tolerate when it becomes anything like a sales push. Melanie, Fred, can we use your pamphlet book or raise credit scores? Where can I purchase it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you for free. You don't even have to purchase it. How about that? I'm happy to send that to you. I also have a book that I wrote, "Put Your Money Where Your House Is," and chapter 2 is all about credit. So I'm happy to send those to anybody who wants a copy of them. I wrote them in 2008, so they're 14 years old, but the concepts still remain the same. So if you want a free copy of it, I normally sell them for $19.95, but anybody in this group will get a free copy, no problem at all. And I'm happy to just email that to you if you want it. So
link
the
will
other
be
thing that I
the
want
link
to,
will, by the way, the link will be in the email when I send out the replay of these videos, as well as yesterday's videos. Everybody can find Fred's links. Go ahead, Fred. Sorry.
no problem. And yeah, and I can email them, and I'll include you as well, Lee, so you could put it up there so people could download them if they want to download them. No problem. So the other thing that's really, really, really good are networking groups. Networking groups take 1 to 2 years. Joining a golf club, joining a social club where there are wealthy people that belong there. You know, I don't know what your financial situation is, but golf clubs are phenomenal for that. I get a lot of business when I play golf with people because the question always comes up. So what do? It comes up eventually during the golf round. And I don't like put a card on my forehead, my business card on my forehead, and say I'm a mortgage guy and I'm a real estate guy, but it will come up, and I don't make it a point to, oh my God, as soon as the opportunity comes up, I'm desperate to tell you what I do. No, it just comes up. So don't force the issue on people, but definitely let them know what you do. You know, and if you're, you know, doing the monster marketing, it's like, well, you know, I help people that have missed payments on their mortgage. It's a great, that's going to get people to ask you another question. I'm telling you, it will. Oh, really? You do? Oh, okay. So they like that. They like that stuff. And so what's another thing that I do? The networking groups. It takes time. It takes time to establish trust with people. But BNI, if you have, it's a one category. It's expensive to join, but
Well,
if they have a
let's make it even
realtor,
easier because I'm sure Steve Love's on the call. Just send an email to Steve Love and join his group. You'd be surrounded by investors.
right?
It's a great opportunity. It's a great
And
RIA. That's a great RIA.
that's one networking group. Another networking group are similar business owners in the area in which you live. And there's a place like BNI or the Chamber of Commerce, all have networking groups. But if you're looking for investors, you know, go talk to Steve Love's group. Sure, all those things are great networking ideas. But the thing is, you got to go and you got to be consistent. And I'm sure if Steve was to make a comment, he would only agree that it's a situation where it takes time. Now, the networking groups and the investors, they're all about learning about marketing techniques to find homeowners that need to sell. That's so, if there's a guy that comes to Steve's group and talks about the topic of, here, this is how I find all my leads for people that are in default, or this is how I find all my vacant seller lead, vacant property leads, or if this is how I find all my probate leads, or whatever it is that you're looking for, divorce, all that kind of stuff. There are ways to find that data. Absolutely. But I think networking groups are awesome. BNI does take they do take realtors, but you got to wait, on the wait list for 3 years. Of course, that's the most popular group.
Yeah,
and it's
we've seen this with online as well. I talk about it all the time with buy and sell groups within local areas. They will take everybody but realtors. And I mean, anybody, you could sell anything on any topic, and I have seen that, but we don't take realtors. There's definitely a stigma with the real estate profession, Fred. Definitely.
Okay, this is the big one for a lot of realtors. All right, this is a big one. Open houses. All right, you guys don't like to do them. I don't know that that's a smart thing, because buyers today, maybe there's some people that in this group that do like to do them, but most realtors don't like to do the open houses. am I wrong for saying that?
No, they're
Um,
willing to do it. I mean, but we don't realistically look at the open house the correct way. In my mind, the open house is for the list that I'm generating, right? That's the bottom line. Do I think I'm going to find an actual buyer for that property? No, this is a marketing ploy to bring in people or find people who, and the engagement on open houses isn't taught correctly either. And I've seen it a lot with people I know in real estate. Let's say you have a neighbor walk in. Oh, I'm just a neighbor taking a look. What's wrong with that next question of, do you know what the equity is in your house right now? That's not the conversation. Like, not everyone, okay? I don't want to get into a thing about, oh, you're labeling us all in one group. I have sat with people at open houses and I am actually genuinely surprised at just sort of letting people wander around because that's what they want when they go shopping. Like they only want to engage when engaged. I don't know if that's actual. If I don't think that's the way it should be. I'm not saying you hover around them, but certainly if you had hot buttons or hot topics and the lack of capturing at open houses of data is staggering to me, Fred. That's historical. There's just not enough done. Or it turns into a written list, which is never converted to a digital list, et cetera, et cetera. It's really important.
so I challenged my ex one time that I would give her $100 for every email address that she got for someone that came in the house. Well, 6 people came in the door and she got 6 email addresses. So I had to pay her $600, but I wanted to see what never been in real estate before, what she could do to help get someone's email. And I gave her no advice, zero. She got everybody to give me their email. And it was at a listing in Riverside from one of my clients who was a lineman and they work on the telephone poles. Those guys make a lot of money, by the way. Once you get one of them, you get a bunch of them too. So I got a lot of friends as well. But there's a few things I want to talk about regarding the open house. Number one is engagement. Okay, I have a buddy I did a radio show with in LA. He used to have a radio show on 97.1. He got into the real estate business. Now he's killing it. And he is the best I've ever seen at engagement. If anybody ever wants to know how to do engagement, my buddy Dan is the guy to go sit at one of his open houses and watch how he does it. He is phenomenal. He is just a people person to the nth degree. He's 5'6", smokes pot, and is a surfer, and is probably $100 million a year of real estate. God bless him. Okay. He is the best I've ever seen. The best. So engagement is huge at an open house. Taking someone around for a tour, don't assume that they don't want a tour of the open house. Take them. You're going to engage with them. Don't, be overbearing. Just give them a tour and let them know. And using words like foyer and magnificent, just real estate words. And if you're good
It's a
at telling
genuine
story
opportunity,
and
Fred.
showing people. Yeah. Now, here's another thing about taking overpriced listings. This is what I tell my clients. I will list the house at whatever price you want me to list the house at. We know what it's worth because all my clients, what do? We go around and we look at all the homes that are available for sale in the neighborhood. And then I ask them, what do you want to list your house for? And then I tell them, I don't think it's going to sell for that price, but I'm going to take your listing and I'm going to do open houses, because are buyers more valuable today than they were in March? Oh, yes, they are. Buyers are very valuable today. So by all means, I'm going to try to find some buyers. And even if they don't buy your house, Mr. Seller, I'm still going to benefit off of it. So I'm willing to promote your house and do open houses, but don't expect me to sell it. I'm just being honest with you. If anybody says that they're going to be able to sell your house when it's overpriced, I got some swampland in Florida for you. Just be honest with them. Just say, hey, I'll do whatever you want. I think it's going to be a challenge to get your home sold at that price. But if it doesn't sell at that price, we can always lower it. Meanwhile, I'll still do open houses because I'm going to find some buyers and they're going to want to go look at properties in the neighborhood. And since I already looked at all of them, I already know what to tell them about each one of those properties that I already looked at because I've been inside of them. And guess what? Now you're a knowledgeable realtor. And guess what happens? You'll get that buyer to go look at homes with you. So don't be afraid to overprice your listings. Just be honest with the seller about it. Okay? I mean, right there, and I have so many more. I have so many more.
We'll pick up with it again tomorrow because we got to talk about a couple of things, and we'll probably end all week with bunches of tips. There's stuff that I don't ever discuss, but for today, that'll be enough.